Alright, so message to my future self because in a year from now I'll be watching this and reacting to how right or wrong I was. So message to my future self. Did you end up growing a beard? I don't know. It's been in my mind lately. So how did I end up growing a beard? Um, let's see. How did senior year end up? Did I actually get good grades, or are they still failing like they are right now? I'm not failing, but you know what I'm saying. They're not too hot right now. Let's just say that. How's college going? Did you get a job? You have a girlfriend? That'd be kind of nice if I have a girlfriend, but yeah, just let me know. Message to future self right there, and let's go ahead and get into the video.
Lesson from the brain, seeing the beauty through the.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the video, and today we are going to be talking about my 2021 season bold predictions. If you guys do enjoy, be sure to leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below what you guys think. What are your guys' bold predictions, and what did you guys think of my bold predictions? How realistic do you think they are? Before we get into this video, though, I have to give a huge shout out to you guys because you guys have gotten me to 200 subscribers. That is amazing, especially considering over the past 5 months, I've been insanely inactive, which I do apologize for, but just with senior year, school, all that stuff, it's just been so busy, and I can't put out, I mean, really, Sundays are really the only days that I can find time to record, which is what today is. And I can somewhat find time to write scripts and stuff during the week, but very seldom can I do that. So, working on a very tight schedule here right now, so I appreciate you guys for understanding and still supporting the channel. Because honestly, if you guys did not hit that subscribe button, if you guys did not leave a like and watch my content, I don't know if I would have the motivation to make videos like this and stuff. So please keep on liking and subscribing. I mean, I guess you don't, but I'm not trying to sound like I'm like, oh, give me the subscribers and stuff. But what I'm saying is, you're like leaving likes and subscribing. It just really helps me stay motivated to make videos like this. I guess if you don't like it, then don't like. If you don't enjoy the content, then I guess don't like it. But if you guys are enjoying it, it means a lot if you guys like, because it just helps me stay motivated. And I know it sounds like money, but I don't make money off this, so it's not like I'm saying leave a like so I make money. It just really keeps me motivated to keep on making these videos. So if you guys could do that, it would really mean a lot to me. And enough about the sad stuff, though. Let's go ahead and get into my 2021 bold predictions. A quick disclaimer: these are bold predictions. These are not necessarily how I view the season turning out. These are kind of like maybe stuff I want to see happen, or I don't think will happen, but think is definitely a possibility. I don't know, just kind of some stuff to maybe, grind some people's gears and get some conversations sparked, stuff like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't think that if I say, you know, one driver, let's say Chase Elliott is going to be trash. If I say he's going to be trash, I probably don't believe that, considering I'm a Chase Elliott fan. I'm just saying that's a possibility, and it's just a hot take. It's not how I actually feel about how the season's going to go. So keep that in mind. These are kind of not my actual predictions. They are bold predictions, as the title suggests. You see, the thing about Bubba Wallace is that I see a lot of people overhyping him and putting a lot of stock into him that I don't think yet is warranted. Now, keyword yet. I think at some point in his career, all the stuff that I'm seeing him saying, winning races and, competing for championships, especially with this, 23XI, whatever, the Jordan team, I think is down the line very possible. But I think a lot of his expectations aren't warranted to be made for this year. I don't think he can quite live up to those expectations. On the flip side, though, I think a lot of people are underrating him, expecting him to be worse than he was at RPM, which I don't think is I don't think that's possible. I don't think he can be any worse than he was at RPM. I think he will be improved on that season, which leads me to believe that Bubba Wallace will make his way into the playoffs. Now, this is very bold because we are looking at a team in 23XI that is in its first season, and you have to expect a new team will have growing pains in its first season. But if you look at RPM, God knows how long they've been in NASCAR, and they were still very inconsistent last season for obviously budget reasons, but still, to say that RPM, a team that's been established for a while, their inconsistencies are any different than a new team's inconsistencies in the Jordan team, it's just unfair, because I feel like the Jordan team by the end of the season will be able to, once they've worked out all the kinks and stuff like that, we'll be able to run in the top 15 consistently. So I think it's very fair to say that Bubba Wallace, considering he ran 21st in points, 20th in points, and at some point was in the top 20 in points, or when am I say that? I mean like 18th or 19th. To say that he is going to make the playoffs is a very fair statement, because he was just outside the playoffs running for RPM, a team that was very inconsistent last season. And I think the Jordan Racing team by summertime could be potential just top 15, top 10 team, and way more consistent than RPM ever was. But I'd say it's pretty safe to say that Bubba Wallace will be at least playoff contender. But with this bold prediction, I'm going to go ahead and say that he makes the playoffs. So that is my reasoning behind that. That went a little longer. That's just kind of a product of me not making a lot of videos. I've been wanting to make a video on Bubba Wallace. Now, a lot of people are overhyping him, a lot of people are underhyping him. I just kind of wanted to point out how I thought on that situation, and why I think he will be a playoff contender this year. My next prediction is one that I unfortunately have to say I really have a lot of faith in it, unfortunately, happening. I think it's more of a unpopular opinion than it is a bold prediction. I think it's more of a fact than it is an opinion, honestly. But I feel like Eric Jones is going to struggle at RPM, and this realistically could be the end for Richard Petty Motorsports. And I'm sorry to be so negative about this, but I just got to look at the facts here. I mean, Eric Jones struggled in JGR equipment, and he's been getting a considerable downgrade in RPM equipment. And combine that with he's not bringing any sponsorship, and RPM doesn't have any sponsorship to begin with. I think it's just a recipe for disaster, and I hope I'm wrong. I sincerely hope I'm wrong, but I'm going to have to go ahead and go with the fact that I feel maybe RPM won't close because we're close to the Gen 6. I think that'll make, or Gen 6, next gen. And I think that will make things a lot easier for teams like RPM to keep running. So I think stuff like that will allow RPM to stay alive. But I think Eric Jones is going to struggle. If you look at him, he's been in top tier equipment in every series he's ever been in, and I'm not sure how he's going to be able to handle running for a team that's not top equipment. And the reason I say that is he's not quite getting the most out of his cars, as we saw over at JGR. He underperformed quite a bit last season and really throughout his JGR career. So it's unfortunate, because Eric Jones is I wouldn't say one of my favorite, but he's somebody that I do root for, and hopefully I'm wrong. I sincerely hope I'm wrong, but that's just my opinion. Next up, I got Christopher Bell winning multiple races and competing for the playoffs. The reason for me believing in this, I would say my first two, I'm more confident in this one, but I still have a lot of confidence in Christopher Bell's ability to compete this season because of how he finished off 2020. If you look at 2020, the start of the season was rough. There was a lot of mechanical failures, but he was able to push those to the side and string together a pretty solid finish to the season. A 95 team in Levine Family Racing that was on its last leg and now no longer exists. So we'll see him move on to the number 20 job, and I think he will do better than Eric Jones did. I am very confident in that, and I also feel that he's going to go out there and win races and compete for a championship. That's really it. I'm very confident that he will win a race. I'm very confident he'll make the playoffs. Maybe not so confident in winning multiple races or making a deep run, but I still think it's definitely a possibility, and that is why it's on my bold predictions list. Alright, so the norm has kind of become that, drivers coming into the Cup Series that are young typically take a while to develop their talents and actually make some noise. But I think Chase Briscoe is going to not do that. While last year's rookie class had its moments, they showed moments of, greatness, I would say. Obviously, Cole Custer getting that win. Tyler Reddick had quite a few good races, and Christopher Bell towards the end of the season started coming into his own, as I mentioned in my last prediction. But I don't think any of them had any seasons better than a Chase Elliott. I'd say Chase Elliott or maybe Kyle Larson had some of the best rookie seasons of recent memory. But I think Chase Briscoe is going to blow them out of the water. I think Chase Briscoe is going to translate his talents from the Xfinity Series to the Cup Series fairly smoothly and come into the Cup Series, compete for wins. Who knows? Win some races even. Compete for the playoffs, make the playoffs, and who knows? Maybe even make a run in the playoffs. I think Chase Briscoe is going to have a great season. I think he has really developed his talents. I know it's a whole different animal in the Cup Series, but this is somebody that I really believe can make the jump to the Cup Series and hardly miss a beat. No, he is not going to almost win every single race like he did in the Xfinity Series, but I think he's going to compete for some wins. I think he's going to get a win or two, and we're just going to have to wait and see. Who knows? I mean, we know he's good at road courses. Him and Austin Cindric were battling there, and Austin Cindric, I would say, is the better road course driver, but I mean, Briscoe held his own. So we'll see. Maybe he can compete with Chase Elliott. God knows we need to see that at a road course, and yeah, that's my opinion. I mean, it really is just my opinion on that. If you guys disagree, let me know. But I really think Chase Briscoe is going to have a breakout season as a rookie and really set the tone for what I think will be potentially a historic career. I really think this kid is talented, seeing him in the Xfinity Series, but I could be wrong. And you know what? Hello, future me in a year recording this and reacting to this. Tell me if I was right or wrong. RCR had a great 2020, winning a race with Austin Dillon and just having all-around great seasons from both drivers in Austin Dillon and Tyler Reddick. But I think 2021 is going to be an even better season for RCR and its drivers. And the reason for this being is the RCR and Hendrick Motorsports engine merger. Now, apparently, components from this engine merger were used in Chase Elliott's car in the championship race that he won, and may I say, blew out the field. Now, I know the engine is not everything about the car. It isn't. It's not. But it's a big part of your car. So, combining Hendrick and RCR's engines, that's a huge deal, in my opinion. I think that is a game changer for RCR. Now, that's not simply the engine deal is not going to make a winning team, but it helps, okay? I'm not trying to act like I'm a car guru and I know everything about cars, but having a better performing engine is going to help the team. That's just a fact. So, in my opinion, this merger is going to help boost RCR back to levels we haven't seen since Kevin Harvick. Now, I'm saying it's as good as the Kevin Harvick, Dale Earnhardt days way back when. But I do think it's going to be a step in that direction. I think we're going to see both drivers win a race. And I think we're going to see both drivers have all-around great seasons. And if I want to kind of piggyback this for Hendrick, I also think Hendrick's going to have a better season than they did last year, as both teams had not what we're used to seeing from them, but still great seasons when you compare them to the years prior. And that's that. I think both RCR and Hendrick, I guess really the prediction was RCR, but I'll add Hendrick in on this. I think they're both going to have resurgent seasons this year due to the merger. Now, next up, I have Spire Motorsports having a breakout season. Now, this is a pure, bold prediction. I needed a filler, and I was like, you know what? Let's put Spire Motorsports in here. Spire Motorsports, I will give them credit. They're a lot more committed to being a competitive team than a lot of people thought. And I give them a shout out to that. I think this Hendrick partnership, I don't know the extent to this Hendrick partnership, but I do think it will help the team, and I think we will see Corey LaJoie and Spire Motorsports both see better seasons than they did last year, and that's really it. It's not too much. I don't think they're going to compete for playoffs. I don't think they're going to have an outstanding season, but I do see them improving. I'm really interested to see how this team develops throughout the year. On to another small team, Trackhouse Racing, in its first season. I think it'll be a lot better than people give them credit for. A lot of people are doubting this team, and I think that's a mistake. I do think this team, while it won't be outstanding, I don't think it's going to be a backmarker team like a lot of people seem to think. The owner, I think it's Justin Marks, is very dedicated, and I think while yes, it is their first season, and I don't expect them to go out there and compete for wins or a playoff spot. I do have RCR backing, and I do think they won't be a slouch. Let's just say that they might not start out well, but I think by the end of the season we will see a massive improvement in the team. And I just really think they're going to impress everybody and, exceed expectations, which isn't a lot considering their expectations are pretty low. Here's one that you're either going to agree with or disagree with. I think most people will disagree with. And personally, I hope this doesn't happen. I'm not too strongly behind this, but I do think it's a very strong possibility that people need to be aware of. And that is that Kyle Larson will struggle in the number 5. And here is my reason why I think Kyle Larson is being somewhat overhyped and why I think we are kind of forgetting some of the problems we saw with Kyle Larson at Chip Ganassi Racing. The first thing is a lot of people consider Chip Ganassi Racing just to be a mid-tier team. You're shitting yourself if you actually believe that. They are a top-tier team. Not the level of JGR, not the level of Stewart-Haas Racing or Hendrick Motorsports, but they're a step behind. They're maybe 2 steps behind. You can legitimately go there and compete for a championship with their equipment. And you're shitting yourself if you don't believe that. Because Kyle Larson had 4 wins with this team in 2017. 2017 was it? It was the year before they switched to Camaro. Then they switched to Camaro. Everybody at Chip Ganassi Racing was ass, or not Chip Ganassi. Everybody at Chevy was ass. Hendrick was ass. RCR was ass, but they were ass before that, so it didn't really make a difference. But you get my point. So obviously he's going to have a dip in performance. But then you look at that. Kurt Busch joined the team during that time, and Kurt Busch outperformed Kyle Larson, in my humble opinion, in that team. Larson had his moments. Larson did have a stretch where he was doing better than Kurt Busch, but all in all, Kurt Busch was the main guy, in my opinion, at Chip Ganassi Racing. While Larson might have been the star, Busch was paying the checks, in my opinion, if that makes any sense. Busch was the one who consistently ran good, and Larson consistently kind of outran his equipment, and I think that's something that maybe isn't a problem now at Hendrick. Maybe you won't have to worry about right now his equipment, but I think you have to you can't ignore the fact that he went from 4 wins to I don't think you can ignore that he went from the top dog to, in my opinion, the second man when Kurt Busch joined the team. And, there's a lot of other factors into it. I hope it's wrong, but I think it is something worthy of pointing out that Kurt Busch really, if you don't think Kurt Busch did better, you can at least agree that Kurt Busch did about the same as Larson, which a lot of people, I guess, would consider Larson to be more, talented than Kurt Busch. So if that were true, why would Kurt Busch be outperforming him? But that's just me and my opinion. Hopefully I'm wrong. I want to see Kyle Larson succeed, but I do have to point out some flaws in his, I don't know. Yeah, I have to point out some flaws in his driving. Next up, I got Kyle Busch and his crew chief change. And I don't think this crew chief change is really going to help Kyle Busch. I think it was going to hurt him. I think their lack of experience with each other will cause for some issues. I don't think he's going to be terrible. I guess maybe he'll improve on last season, but that's not saying much. And I do think Kyle Busch will struggle this year. I think we'll see a lot of the similar struggles we saw with MTJ and Jesse Little. Is that his name? I'm sorry if I got it wrong. Some Smalls? I don't know. God, I've been out of NASCAR for a while now, but whatever MTJ's crew chief is, I think we'll see kind of a similar season with Kyle Busch and his crew chief, where it'll be improved on last season at least, but it won't be what we expect from Kyle Busch. And I think you're silly to use Adam Stevens as a scapegoat. I think that was his crew chief, right? God, I need to do some more research, I guess. But I think it's unfair to use Kyle Busch's crew chief last year as a scapegoat for why Kyle Busch was junk. I think that was just an all-around thing. I don't think it was the crew chief's fault, but who knows? Maybe Kyle Busch got out there and won 8 races. He's got the talent to do it. We'll just have to wait and see. my personal opinion, it's not going to fix his problems, and we'll still see some struggling out of Kyle Busch. But I don't think he can get any worse than last year. We'll go with that. And I reserved the last spot for my bold prediction champion, and that is Kevin Harvick. Well, I think he's going to choke again because he's pretty good at that. In this bold prediction, I'm going to say he wins it, mostly because I feel bad for what happened to him last year, I guess. I think he's going to have another outstanding season and get the job done, unlike he did in 2020. Well, he had an outstanding season, but he's going to get the job done instead of just a round of 8 exit. I think he's going to kind of use that exit as fuel to his fire this year in 2021, and I think that will be enough to get him over the hump and get him his second NASCAR championship. And hey, if I'm right, shout out to me. All right, so I want to just end this off by saying that, like with the Kyle Busch, Adam Stevens one, or the Kyle Larson struggling one, with those and others throughout the video, Eric Jones struggling one, I'm not necessarily saying that I fully believe those. It's more of I think it's definitely a possibility, but I'm more speaking through the point of view of somebody who would believe that rather than my personal point of views. But I think they're still fairly possible to happen. That's why I put it in my bold prediction video. That might sound like a scapegoat, but that's just what I'm saying. But that is all I got for today. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to like, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below what you guys thought about the video. That's really all I got. Again, I can't stress this enough. Thank you guys so much for subscribing, leaving likes and stuff like that. And, as I said earlier, it really helps me keep motivated and stuff. So please keep that up, or you don't have to, but it just means a lot if you do. And I'm going to go ahead and end this video right now. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Yeah, stop wasting my time.